everyone, I'm Dr. Noor Al-Nibari. Welcome back to our show, Healthy Ramadan. Today we're going to talk about the healthy plate, which replaced the food pyramid. And with us is the director of the Nutrition Department in Dasman Diabetes Institute, Dr. Rula Baraka. We'd like to welcome you here in our show. And of course, you've brought in with you some really nice things here to demonstrate the healthy plate.
You're most welcome, and we're very happy to have you again at the Dasman Diabetes Institute. And today we'll be talking, as you said, about the healthy or My Plate, actually.
Okay, so what is My Plate really?
My Plate is a natural development of the food pyramid that started in the 1990s, and in 2005 they had My Pyramid. Developed by the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, and people started following this thing as a guideline for healthy eating. However, the message is always to simplify information to help the public really achieve better eating habits.
Absolutely.
So in 2011, June 2011, USDA developed the healthy plate, as you see, and if you like to go through it.
Yes, we'd love to.
The components of the healthy plate.
So can you show me the components? Because there are plenty of colors here. There's the green and the red and the orange and the purple. Like, what does each of them signify?
Yes, you've noticed correct. They have different colors and they have different sizes of the quarters. The USDA decided to have a healthy plate, which is the 9-inch plate, our regular eating plate.
Yeah.
And we try to imagine an imaginary line, cutting it into two halves, and then another horizontal line, so it becomes 4 quarters, not equal quarters. As you can see, the vegetable one, the green one, represents the vegetable, which is almost 30% of the plate. And usually we recommend eating plenty of vegetables because they're healthy, they have antioxidants, they have fiber, and they're fillers. So if people want to control their appetite, they'd rather have something with less calories. On the other hand, we have a larger quarter, which is the grains quarter, because grains come from, for example, pasta, rice, wheat, bread, cereals. So this is a bigger portion than a quarter because it's the base of our energy. They're good sources of energy. And the USDA also recommend that we have half of our grain coming from whole grain. Okay. So if we have brown rice or if we have whole wheat or whole grain cereals, it will be a healthier option. Okay. Then we have the purple quarter, which is the protein, which comes from fish, meat, chicken, or plant source protein. So we have the legumes like beans, lentils. So we can have the proteins either from animal source or plant source. And even when we have the animal source protein, we always recommend the lean portions, so we cut all the visible fat. And the last quarter is the red one, which represents the fruits. So again, they recommend that 1/4 of our plate is filled by fruits, any kind of fruit, and the more we color the plate, different kinds of fruit, the better we help ourselves get nutrients that are different.
Absolutely. I think as well, it's like when you see something that's good to the eye, it's good for your stomach, I suppose. And we have also something else here, and it's the dairy, and I think it's a glass of water, or is it the dairy here?
Dairy, correct. We can add a drink, and they recommend that we have 3 cups of dairy per day, so we can have one with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And again, the dairy would give us the calcium we need for our bones and our teeth and other parts that we need for our system, the enzymes and the pathways that goes in the system. So the dairy can come also from low-fat dairy as a recommended healthier option, 1% skimmed milk or low-fat milk, or 1% Leban drink, which is again common in our part of the world.
And it covers the dairy as well. But I've seen here now you have said fruits in a meal. It's like it's a weird concept to me.
Yes.
Like I don't think I've ever eaten fruits with my lunch or my dinner.
Yeah. Well, see, you can choose to have it with the meal, or you can choose to have it as an option. You may have the dairy and fruit, as an option, as a snack after the meal. The point is, don't fill your plate with too much grain. It's just to take to cover a portion actually, and the
Because the grains are tasty.
Yes, we tend to eat more grains, and they're rich in calories, and we tend to eat more proteins and not necessarily low-fat proteins. Now, on the other hand, the Harvard group have developed this plate or the concept into a similar one with a little bit more clarification. Where they've replaced the dairy with water for those who want to control their weight, because it has less calories and it's the best dissolvent for the system. And they've added the oil as a dressing for the salad or cooking oil. But
they have more vegetables in their plate.
Yes, their vegetables are more than 30% of the plate, definitely. So it's an imbalanced quarter, actually. And then they have the monounsaturated fatty acids or the healthy fats like olive oil or canola oil, sunflower oil or corn oil as a dressing for the salad, or just to add to vegetables or cooking oil. Also, we will not forget the little icon, stay active. The Harvard group emphasized that exercise and healthy eating should go hand in hand, and the more we are active, the more we can lose weight or contribute to the balance between energy in and energy out.
Exactly. It's like exercise is important, and as you said, it has to go hand in hand with a healthy diet. And you mentioned here, of course, there is also some glass of water here, but can we replace the water with juice?
We can. Juices usually are very high in calories compared to water or yogurt, and one glass of juice has like 3 fruits. We usually recommend that a person eats 1 fruit. So if you're having the juice, then it's replacing one of the fruits or the quarter of a plate, and it would be like 1/2 or 1/3.
Unless it's a syrup. A syrup fruit, because this is really bad, I think. It's not even close to fruit.
It's not really a fresh juice. It would be a drink which has more sugar than the fruit itself. But for those who are active and they exercise and they need this extra boost of calories, fruits or fruit juices are better options than having sodas or artificial drinks and nectars that are much higher in sugar content.
Much higher in calories as well. Now, how can we incorporate this healthy plate, or, as you said, it's my plate in Ramadan, especially in the futur and suhoor?
Yes. Again, we have to exercise self-control when in portion control. So it is a challenge.
The plate shouldn't be this big.
Yes, it is a challenge. I'll show you a couple of plates that really look appetizing, and they're full of food, and they can replace our traditional food that we tend to eat. I do understand that people enjoy Ramadan's food, and I understand the tradition. So I would say cut back on portions, and maybe the first few days indulge a little bit, satisfy the craving for things you long for at Ramadan, and then start controlling. I'll show you one of the plates that represents my plate.
So this is my plate.
This is my plate.
Okay.
Yes. So we have a salad. In this case, it's tabbouleh. And again, the dressing is olive oil with tabbouleh.
Okay.
Now, it should be 1/4 of protein and 1/4 of rice. So we've spread them over half the plate, the imaginary line.
Yes.
And the meat with the rice. So this is biryani, which people are used to, especially in Ramadan. They'd like to have it.
It's always yummy.
Yeah. And we have a glass of low-fat laban, which will cover the dairy portion. And they'll have a fruit. I know we are not used to fruits in our plates, but it's the portion they should have, and this reduces the other portions as well, so they can have it after the meal or even after their prayer if they opt to, when they feel like having sugar.
So it's an amazing concept here, because it does look filling. The plate itself, it's I think if you eat this, you'll be very satisfied.
Yes. Another replacement would be the 3 dates that are equivalent to 1 fruit. So if we have 3 dates with our iftar, which is recommended usually, it will cover or replace the apple we're having in this dish.
Okay.
Now, as for the Harvard plate, again, which is also craved for in Ramadan, people like pasta. So they can start with a salad, for example, a roca salad with some tomatoes, and season it with a little bit, a tablespoon of olive oil and maybe balsamic vinegar, the one you like, which
like
is
that.
very tasty.
It is.
And 1/4 would be the pasta, and we can make it with whole grain pasta, and some tomato paste. We can have 1 or 2 pieces of chicken, which is 1/4 of the plate, and usually the recommended portion is 1 hand palm, usually. But for those who, again, exercise more, they can have it, and then a glass of water. And if people don't suffer from any health conditions, I recommend they go out for a walk half an hour just before iftar. If they have hypertension, check your blood pressure if you have high blood pressure, and then if it's normal or it's within range, within target, you can go out for half an hour walk with no worries. For people with diabetes, if it is controlled, then they can do that as well. 20 minutes to half an hour before a meal, and they can come back right away for a meal. So then we guarantee that they've covered the stay active part of the Harvard method or Harvard example, and they have the healthy meal, and I hope they enjoy it.
Thank you so much. Now, in this, this meal plan, can we lose weight?
Yes, if you're controlling the portion, you can lose weight. If you're observing your cooking method, where not too many fried items, you see here we don't have kibbe or sambusak or fatayr that are very rich in oil. And it is very satisfactory to eat this amount. When you're fasting, you feel that you want to eat the whole table. Okay, right?
They do fill it with a lot of food, and I think it's you have to be careful if you're making futur. Just make only, for example, the salad and the main dish, and just probably 1 appetizer if you want.
Yes. Absolutely. And then there's another thing to do, and it will help people really lose weight if they start chewing, counting their chews. When they eat 1 bite, they should try to do that. It is difficult, but it's difficult because they're not used to it. Probably if they start before Ramadan, try to train yourself to eat slower. It takes 20 minutes to activate the satiety center in brain. So if they start chewing, that means they're slowing down their food, the absorption, and they reach satiety better. So then that makes it easier to finish this plate while they're really full, and they don't feel like adding other things. Even if they see all the other appetizing thing, since their message is sending a brain that I'm full, I don't need anything else, I'm satisfied, they may delay the other things that they were prepared or they saw them prepared ahead of time into another time period.
That's amazing. This is a really wonderful concept, and I hope everybody does follow through. And of course, now we have a brilliant recipe. So what is the recipe you have for us for the healthy plate?
Today, Chef George has prepared a mawash dish, a traditional Kuwaiti dish, which will have the grains and the proteins, and he has a salad as well, and fruits as a dessert, the 1/4 of a plate, which is mixed berries, because berries are really, the colors in berries, all these antioxidants, they protect against a lot of types of cancer, and they're very healthy and very tasty as well.
Yes, they are. And just stay tuned for the recipe, which is coming up next.